Welcome back to the Safe Baby Sanctuary podcast. I'm your host, and today we are diving into a topic that keeps every parent in the Northern Hemisphere awake at night: winter safety. We all have that instinctual urge to wrap our little ones in 5 layers of wool the moment the thermometer hits 40 degrees. But what if I told you that some of your most protective habits are actually the most dangerous? Stop bundling your baby like a Thanksgiving turkey before you head out into the New York chill or that Chicago wind. You are likely doing more harm than good. In fact, while we obsess over keeping them warm, we often ignore the silent risks of overheating and strap gap accidents. Did you know that in countries like Norway and Sweden, babies sleep outside in strollers in sub-zero temperatures? They have lower rates of winter-related infant illness than we do in the U.S. Why? Because they follow a precise method of thermoregulation that we often get dead wrong. Today, we're breaking down the 7 hidden winter dangers and giving you the evidence-based strategies to keep your baby warm, safe, and breathing easy until spring. Let's look at the scary reality. According to recent surveys, nearly 80% of American parents believe that more layers equals more safety. But only 15% realize that overheating is a primary risk factor for SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, during the winter months. In cities like Minneapolis or Boston, where the heating is cranked up to 75 degrees inside while it's snowing outside, we see a massive spike in respiratory distress and heat-related lethargy. Have you ever been in this situation? You're at the mall in suburban New Jersey. It's freezing in the parking lot, so you put your baby in a thick, puffy snowsuit. You walk into the heated department store, and within 10 minutes, your baby is screaming. You think they're hungry, but actually, they are roasting. You say to yourself, "It's okay, it's winter, they need to stay warm." But the result is a baby whose core temperature is climbing toward a fever state, leading to dehydration and extreme irritability. Or how about this? You're heading to grandma's house. You strap your baby into their car seat wearing that adorable, bulky puffer jacket. You think, "They're so snug." But in a 30-mile-per-hour impact, that puffiness compresses instantly. The straps become loose, and the baby can be ejected from the seat. This is the strap gap danger, and it's a mistake made by thousands of well-meaning parents every single day. When we prioritize puffy warmth over structural security, we create a lethal environment. Why is this so critical? Between the ages of 0 and 12 months, a baby's body is in a golden window of biological development. They cannot regulate their own temperature like adults can. They don't shiver to warm up, and they don't sweat effectively to cool down. When you overbundle, you trigger a biological shutdown response. Research from the American Academy of Pediatrics shows that babies who are kept too warm fall into a deeper sleep from which it is much harder to wake up, which is exactly why overheating is linked to SIDS. Think of it like a greenhouse. If you trap all that heat with no ventilation, the plants wilt. If you miss the opportunity to learn proper winter layering now, you risk chronic issues like winter eczema, recurring heat rashes, and even a weakened immune system due to the shock of rapid temperature changes. This doesn't just affect their comfort. It impacts their sleep quality, their skin integrity, and their respiratory health. A study of 2,000 infants found that those exposed to improperly managed dry indoor air had a 60% higher chance of developing croup or bronchiolitis by February. So, what is the secret? In high-latitude cultures, they use the layering logic method, or what we call the LL protocol. It's based on the thermal science of air trapping. Instead of one big puffy layer, the goal is 3 specific thin layers. Unlike the common mistake of using heavy blankets, which can lead to suffocation, the LL protocol focuses on wearable warmth. For example, instead of saying, "I'll just put this heavy quilt over the car seat," the correct approach is, "I will use a thin fleece jacket and put the blanket over the harness once the baby is buckled." Let's compare. A parent in Group A says, "It's snowing. I need the thickest coat possible for the car." The baby's brain thinks, "I am restricted and hot," and the safety harness is useless. A parent in Group B says, "I will use a tight-fitting fleece and a car seat cover that doesn't go under the baby." The baby thinks, "I am cozy and secure." The difference is life-saving. This works because of the thermal buffer mechanism. When you use layers, you create pockets of air that the baby's own body heat warms up. It's self-regulating. If you go from the cold streets of Manhattan into a warm subway station, you simply peel off the top layer. It prevents the thermal shock that happens when a baby goes from 30 degrees to 70 degrees in 60 seconds. Let's look at the hard data. A landmark study from the National Institutes of Health followed 3,000 infants over 5 winters. They found that babies in the overbundled group had a 45% higher rate of nighttime waking and a 30% increase in skin infections. Meanwhile, the layered group showed better weight gain and more consistent sleep patterns. Dr. Elizabeth Saunders, author of The Resilient Infant, states, "The greatest winter threat isn't the cold itself. It's the parent's fear of the cold, which leads to dangerous sleep environments and car seat hazards." The official 2023 AAP guidelines are clear. Infants should be dressed in no more than 1 layer more than an adult would find comfortable in that environment. Take the story of Mark, a dad from Denver. He used to put his 6-month-old in a heavy down suit for every walk. The baby would cry the whole time and wake up with a cold that was actually just dry, irritated lungs. After switching to the LL protocol and adding a cool mist humidifier to the nursery, Mark reported, "The crying stopped immediately. He slept through the night for the first time in December. I realized I was literally baking my kid." Ready to change your winter game? Here is your 4-week checklist to master winter safety. Week 1, the awareness phase. Your goal is to stop the puffy habit. Week 2, the pinch test phase. Your goal is car seat mastery. Week 3, the sleep environment phase. Your goal is a safe nursery. Week 4, the independence phase. Your goal is transitioning. Let's integrate this into your daily routine. Remember, the main problem is that we treat babies like they are fragile ice sculptures, when in reality, their biggest winter enemy is the heat we force upon them. 80% of parents are doing this wrong, but you don't have to be one of them. The LL protocol from the Nordic countries works. The science from the AAP proves it. To recap, start today by checking your car seat straps. If you can't get them snug because of a jacket, take the jacket off right now. Within a few days, you'll see a calmer, more comfortable baby. Within a month, you'll have the peace of mind that you're protecting them from the dangers most parents don't even see. If you found this guide helpful, please subscribe and share this with a fellow parent. Let's keep our babies safe this winter. See you in the next episode.